I think one of the beautiful things about traveling and going to Georgia and meeting the people and seeing all the ingredients and the way they touch food and the way they cook is like, well, what do I do with that? Come on, boy. Sit down, relax, take it easy. I'm going to show you how to make the most beautiful Georgian-inspired roast chicken with an incredible walnut salsa verde, blackened leeks, and gorgeous new potatoes. With those beautiful Georgian spices, it just gives another level of deliciousness to your friendly, everyday roast chicken. Come on. So look, I've just put the chicken on and I'm using this old spit roast, which I love. And I actually saw one of these in the flea market in Georgia. Absolutely, you can do this in a regular oven, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, about an hour and 10, hour and 20 minutes. But I want to do a few things that just get you in the spirit of Georgia and their seasonings and their flavor and their excitement for food. So first of all, got some leeks. I'm going to put this straight onto the charcoal here and I'm going to let the outer leaves burn but protect what's inside. Sweet, succulent leeks. On the back here, I've got some beautiful new potatoes. I covered it with salted water and I've brought it to the boil, and can you see how it's almost boiling down? So by the time those have boiled dry, then I can put some fat in there and get them sizzling. So they'll be kind of like beautiful salty potatoes. But the chicken, this is where I want to begin that kind of Georgian love. So over here, I've got some little kind of spices and seasonings. The trinity that you see very often in Georgia is the dried marigold petals. And we grow marigolds here. I mean, they're all over the country, but dried, you get this amazing sort of floral, savory flavor and amazing color, of course. And if you couldn't find this, of course, just a little bit of turmeric is a nice little swap in. Here is the unknown. That's what they call it, and it's blue fenugreek. And if you can't get hold of this, you can get fenugreek seeds. And again, that's a lovely savory flavor. And then here, very common, coriander seeds. Wonderful. So into a pestle and mortar, or you could put it into a little liquidizer if you want. I'll go in with like a teaspoon of the coriander, followed by a teaspoon of the unknown, and then the same of those amazing golden marigold petals. Look at that. Then we're going to put in some nice seasoning, about a teaspoon again, followed by a teaspoon of black pepper and about half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So I'm just going to grind that up, and the smell already is amazing. So you could use this for grilled or roasted meats, and obviously cooking a chicken like this over coals and, you know, burnt wood, that is the original roasting. But while I'm in that sort of Georgian spirit, I had to. Once it's kind of bashed up and ground down, I'm going to take some of this herb here. This is called summer savory. It's a little bit like oregano. It's spicy, really kind of floral, quite savory. It's incredibly good with lamb, with beans, lentils, incredibly healthy. And the Georgians absolutely love it. Just pound it up, and then to help those natural oils that come out of the herb, we're going to add some oil. The Georgians would use sunflower oil, but I would normally use olive oil, but whatever you can get your hands on. And then a little swig of vinegar or lemon juice. So this, whatever it goes on, is going to be amazing. If you put that on lamb, on roasted chicken as we are now, lovely vegetables, this is going to be a thing of joy. So bigging up those amazing Georgian spices. So next, what I like to do is use herbs like a brush. Think of a kind of old witch's broomstick, and we're going to use this to mop up this amazing marinade kind of basting oil. Take any herbs you like, anything woody, thyme, rosemary, sage. In this case, I've got some lovely savory. I'm going to grab a little spoon like this and just put it into the middle, and then just grab yourself a little bit of string and we'll tie it up any old how. I love this kind of cooking. I'm taking this opportunity to cook outside, which I love, but if you do this inside, it's all good. That doesn't stop us taking the inspiration from Georgia. So baste the chicken as it turns and as it roasts. And of course, if you're doing this in a regular oven at home, you can do exactly the same thing and build up layers of flavor that are truly delicious. Look at that. This is taking me back to the Supra with that big table and all the friends, the musicians, that incredible pork. finished with the pomegranate. So good. So if you look in the potato pan there, that salty water is starting to dry out. And at this point, that's when we'd introduce some fat. Now that can be olive oil, sunflower oil, butter, any rendered fat from meat, beef, ghee. So we'll go from boiling to frying. If you want to take a little bit of garlic and make the most beautiful garlicky potatoes and just go in rustic like that, that will be the most amazing flavour. Just move these potatoes around. Conker. Conker's like, I'm getting out of here, but then he'll be back for chicken later. So if you're roasting your chicken in a tray, in an oven as usual, then halfway through, that's when the potatoes that boil dry can just be tossed in a little olive oil, something like that, garlic in the tray under the chicken, soaking up all those beautiful juices. What we can do is take this off, and this can go in with the potatoes. This is going to be amazing. The leeks are still burning beautifully. Never thought I'd say that. So this method of cooking in ash is very old. You get amazing flavour and sweetness. Gonna take a few tomatoes on the vine, and again, go straight on the coals. So next up, back in the pestle and mortar, what I wanna do is make like a Georgian-inspired salsa verde. So salsa verde, green sauce, classic Italian sauce. So I'm gonna take some of that energy, but I wanna do it Georgian style. I'm gonna go in with tarragon. We'll go in with some parsley. Nice big wadges of it, Georgian style. Like, there was just the most incredible, confident use of herbs in so many of their dishes. I absolutely love it. Got some lovely mint. Even a little bit of dill and a nice little wadge of basil. So, stuff full your pestle and mortar. I'll add a little bit of salt and just smash it up to a paste. One of the things I loved about going to Georgia down the markets was how many herbs they had and the abundance. Some of them were packaged up so beautifully. Really, really nice. They had a lot of respect for herbs, and I loved that. So as soon as this gets to like a little paste, then I'm gonna go in with that classic Georgian ingredient, walnuts. Walnuts, walnuts, walnuts. They're in abundance in Georgia, but they're nutritionally so good. So a nice little handful, really heart-healthy fats, amazing robust flavour, and I don't just want them for their flavour and their protein, of course, and their nutrients, but also their creaminess. People often don't talk about that with nuts, right? So once you've smashed those nuts up, then what we can do is go and find some tang, like little pickles, gherkins, so they can go in. We could take capers. I'll take a little mustard that goes in as well. And we'll take a little seasoning, salt and pepper. And you're just gonna get this lovely rustic green sort of paste. This isn't classic cooking, this is just using the Georgian inspiration in my everyday cooking. This is the joy of traveling and experiencing and tasting new things. Add some of that oil just to loosen it. So a little vinegar goes in. Have a little try. The walnuts are really good. These potatoes are looking mighty fine. Chicken is still roasting. So let's grab these leeks. And I know what you're thinking, they look tatty. But often when we're prepping leeks or onions, we take off the outside leaves that are a bit tougher and we get rid of them. But today we're just going to do it slightly differently, right? So we'll go to the end and just trim it off. What's happened is these outer leaves have protected the inner leek. Is we'll just peel it to reveal slender, juicy, gorgeous, steamed leeks, but with this extra seasoning of smoke. It's pretty special, I've got to say. It's a lovely way to cook, and not so many people do it. And you can see by how floppy this is, how tender this leek is here. Within the ugly is something absolutely beautiful. And then we can just slice this up. So let's get some of those tomatoes. This is definitely rustic cooking, isn't it? So squeeze those tomatoes out of the skin, and they're going to be sweeter and more tasty. So just like a salsa, I would add a little oil. You could use a little lemon or vinegar. I'm going to use a little pomegranate, just like they did at the Supra. It's got that sweet and sour vibe. So I'm just going to squeeze that. Look at that. So season it with salt and pepper. And I'm going to use a little bit of dried chili as well. And just kind of move it around. You can see it start to shine. Look at those colors. To finish this off, some of those lovely dried marigold petals. And then that other half of the pomegranates, let's just give it a little whack. Look at that, come on. For me, it's all about, you know, using that inspiration, that experience in Georgia, what I saw, what I tasted, the people I met, all of that culture, I'm using it to express it in my food at home. That is what it's all about. And that is gonna be a joy. The potatoes, they're looking pretty good actually. So what I wanna do is just create a carpet of potatoes. Conker, don't make a silly move, man. Like, the chicken's nearly done. I know you've been patient, but you're going at the wrong time, bro. So on this beautiful but windy day, we have done this gorgeous Georgian-inspired roast. Just a few fun things to mix up your next roast dinner. These beautiful new potatoes, I'm now gonna squash them. Just go around with your thumb and just break them like that. Crispy on the outside, soft as you can't believe on the inside. Just beautiful. Gorgeous. I can then go in with these lovely veggies. Look at this. And we can let that chicken rest right on top of that. It looks pretty impressive with some of that gorgeous green sauce with the walnuts. And there you go. Fit for a Supra for sure. But look at that. Imagine taking that to the table. The level of flavour there. Wow. Some Georgian wine. For me, the squashed potatoes are just a beautiful thing. Beautiful. Let's get in there with the chicken. Look at that. So juicy. Gorgeous. There you go. Right, let's have a little try. The leeks, my lord, they are so soft and tender with the most beautiful, subtle smokiness. And that sweet tomato around it, joy. Let's go for a potato, come on. I love new potatoes. I love them simply cooked, but this is like something different. Crispy on the outside, soft and buttery on the inside. And then the chicken with those beautiful Georgian spices turned into a marinade. Wow, it just gives another level of deliciousness to your friendly, everyday roast chicken. Come on. That for me is so good. So what are you waiting for? Take a little bit of that Georgian love, the herbs, the beautiful flavors, that whole idea of the Supra, getting around the table, enjoying company, some music, and enjoy. Love it. To experience the flavors of Georgia yourself, click the link for the recipe.